Hey loves, it's Angelica aka Angie B. Welcome back to my channel. If you're subscribed, if you're new, then welcome. My name is Angelica. I do videos all about growing your natural hair, beauty, extension, wigs, everything, a little bit of everything here and there. Today I am doing my first movie review. I did have a second entertainment channel where I reviewed like movies and TV shows, but it kept getting copyrighted and blah blah blah. I decided to merge the two. So now I am going to be doing reviews of popular movies, bad movies, and TV shows, and see what you guys think. We can have a little discussion about it. And all the time, I will either be doing my hair, my makeup, or my skincare. As you guys can see, my skincare and makeup is done, so I will be doing my hair in this video. So today, we are going to be talking about a movie I have been seeing everywhere. It is a Netflix movie, and obviously you saw the title, so you know it is Tall Girl. This is one of the most ridiculous movies I have heard of in a really, really long time. I saw the trailer a long time ago and I was just like, I just forgot about it. But then I saw a lot of people talking about it and I thought, let me watch it and also talk about it. As a short girl, I am just under 5 feet. The title is very self-explanatory. This movie is about a tall girl. Her name is Jodie, aka Yodi. She is 6'1" and a half. That's what makes her so tall, apparently. She's not just 6 foot. No, she's 6 foot and a half. So right at the beginning of the movie, we do see the rest of her family as well. Surprisingly, she's the only tall person in her family. Her mom, her dad, and her sister are all average height. Not sure how that happened, but it is possible. We have seen even little people who have a 6-foot child, so we know it is not impossible. Okay, so the movie starts in the library and there's this sexy Janelle Monáe music playing, and Jodie, the tall girl, is looking at this other guy and they're, exchanging looks and everything. And they start talking about a book, so we see she's smart, she's pretty, and everything. And then the guy wants to ask her out. So she stands up, and then this is where the movie starts to get ridiculous, right at the beginning. She stands up, and they do this weird vertigo kind of thing with the video. And this was just overdone. She's not like a giant. If he looks that short next to her, 6'1" is not that tall. So for her to look like that, it means this guy was just short. He was probably 5'3" or something for her to look that tall. So immediately he's just sort of turned off and he's like, oh no. He just walks away and she's just more like, the struggle. And of course it's easy to understand because most people don't want to date a guy that's shorter than them. For me, it's very easy because most people are taller than me. For someone who's 6'1" and a half, yes, it can be challenging. You might not want to date someone shorter than you. But they do really make it seem like it's the worst thing on earth. When Jodie's looking all sad and defeated in the library, this is where it irks my nerves. It was shot, if you guys watch TLC, or I don't know what channel this might show in your country, but there's a TV show called My Giant Life. And that's where they got the idea to film this movie because it is so annoying. They made all the furniture and all the people be shorter than Jodie. The stacks of books in the library are way shorter than her, so she's above everything. The chairs are also kind of smaller than usual. So they just make everything look like it is so tiny and she's this giant. And they always film it from this weird camera angle, which is really annoying. I feel like it's supposed to be funny, but it's not. They just make everything look unnecessarily sad. So anyway, moving on, the movie goes on, blah blah blah. We finally meet her dad, who's a jerk, by the way. His character is just very annoying. I don't think real people's parents behave like that. They show clips of Jodie when she's a little kid, 3 years old, and she's bigger than all the other kids. And her dad is supposedly worried that she's going to have some medical condition because she's tall. And again, guys, she's 6'1". She's not one of those people with a condition where, everything in your body, including your organs, keeps growing. You're continually growing and you don't stop. No, she was just taller than the other kids. And he's trying to look for things that are going to stunt her growth so she can be shorter. And he's short, by the way. So I don't know if he has some sort of Napoleon syndrome. But he always does this weird trying to do weird things to make her feel better about being tall and all these comments. And yeah. So then, after all this, we take a look into the high school. And this is where we come back to the whole everything is smaller. Like, I'm sorry, but this is an American high school. You cannot tell me 6'1" is the tallest person in your school. Like, we see clips of every other student that's walking around in the school, and Jody is the tallest by far. Like, female, male, like, I don't understand. Do they not have a basketball team or something? Because there is like a sign for cheerleaders or something like that. So there's no way that Jody is the tallest person in her school. Here's the one line that took everybody out, I think, where it was just like, okay, now you're being ridiculous. She's like, oh, you think your life is hard? Try wearing a size 13 shoe. Like,
You think your life is hard? Beat that.
girl, there are people with cancer. There are people dying. That's what you consider hard life, with a big house and everything's going all great. Like, look, I do understand the thing of, I do believe that just because there are worse problems in the world, it doesn't diminish your problem. You know what I mean? Like, your point is still valid. But that whole line of, you think your life is hard, you know whose life must be hard? Her black best friend in a school with all those white kids, who always has pink hair and she's short. Like, they just really made it over dramatic. And she's sort of like the stereotypical black girl. She's always defending her friends, like stereotypical in a movie, I mean. Always defending her friend. Kind of no character development. She seems to have completely no friends except for Jody, and she always just throws out these one lines like, just embrace your height. And I feel like this character was put there because of the pressure that Netflix feels to always put people who are included like into the show, diversity, which is of course always appreciated, but sometimes it's just very unnecessary. And then we meet her older sister, who in my opinion should have been the star of this whole thing. Or is she the star of something? I'm not sure. She's played by Sabrina Carpenter, and she is beautiful. And that's who she's playing basically in the movie. She's a beautiful bombshell. She's a pageant queen. Oh, by the way, nature balanced out her beauty and everything with giving her allergies, which is just another stupid thing. Like, look, I have allergies. I'm allergic to dust. I'm allergic to grass. I'm basically allergic to being outside. I'm allergic to pollen, and I basically live in a garden. So if it's in the evening, most likely if I don't take an antihistamine, I'm like sneezing and everything. But she always has this inhaler that she always like dramatically breathes in. And I'm like, as a person with allergies, no one does that. No one's allergies are like that unless you literally sit with like sunflowers in your bedroom. Like, you've got pollen everywhere. Like, so yeah, I think they actually used some sort of statement like, yeah, to balance out her beauty, she inherited allergies. Wow, so hard. Her character is another flat one. We barely see her in the movie. I feel like we should have seen her more because to me, she was kind of the only funny one, because her character is extremely dramatic for nothing. And lots of times it's placed at the wrong time in the movie, so she doesn't even seem like she's funny. And her mom is an ex-pageant queen who has no life problems apparently, because all the boys liked her in high school. 10 people asked her out to the prom, so she couldn't possibly have any problems. And she just kind of doesn't care about Jody. She's just one of those who doesn't care about anyone, and she literally has zero character development. Like, we see way more of the dad than the mom. Another kind of pointless character. If the mom wasn't in the movie, it would have made no difference. And we meet one of Jodie's other best friends, who's a guy. His name is Dunkelman. And I guess he has more character development in the show, but it's the standard. They've been friends since they were little kids, and he's in love with her, and he doesn't hide it. He tells her all the time, but she doesn't want to date him because he's short. Not that he's a bad person or anything. It's just mainly that he's short, and she's got this like boyfriend checklist, and tall has to be on the list. Now, honestly, I understand that part. I am a picky person too, and it's kind of hard to feel bad for him. Like, I guess you could say she's kind of mean to him, but it's not like she's been leading him on and saying, oh, one day we're gonna date and, we're gonna get together. It's just that you're short or whatever. He just kind of persists in quite a dramatic way as well, as usual, as these movies tend to be. For the whole movie, he carries this milk carton, like wooden box, for no reason. Since they were like, I don't know how old, he always has this little annoying box that he carries everywhere, and it's just unexplained. No one knows why he carries the box, and it's revealed later in the movie, so I'll talk about it at the end, but it's a really stupid reason. He's another person who's always motivating her, like, of course he's in love with her, so he's like, be yourself, do something crazy, wear heels, and she's like, they don't make heels in my size, and even if they did, I wouldn't wear them. I'm just like, there are other 6 feet tall people. There are models and actresses who are 6 feet tall in America who have heels if they want to wear them. Like, are you serious? So anyway, Dankoman is just like, you should just date me. Basically, he's asking her to settle, which is just like, okay, no. He's like, you don't know when a tall guy is just gonna walk in from nowhere. So making it seem like there's literally no other tall guy in the school. But anyway, no other tall guy's gonna come, so she might as well just date him. And then, of course, perfect timing, this beautiful man walks in. He's an exchange student, and he walks into the classroom, and he literally looks like a human candle. Like, he is very, very attractive, almost a little bit too pretty, but he's very attractive, like the classic Ken Prince Charming in a movie. He's blonde, he's tall, he's from Sweden, and his name is, oh, by the way, he walks in straight to the class, which is like, I don't know if the person who shot this movie has never been to a high school, but like, people don't do this. It's his first day in the class. He's an exchange student, and he finds like an equation on the board, and he just walks up and immediately solves it. And I'm just like, okay, that's kind of like a douchey move for him to be like the guy. So he gets introduced, and his name is Stig. So, of course, Jody is like, oh my God, he's like a god. She's admiring him from a distance. But of course, she's too shy, so she never goes to talk to him. And this is where we meet the bitch of the movie. She is basically like a classic, not Regina George, but like a Cheryl Blossom, if you will. She is another one who is a completely flat character. She is mean for no reason. She has apparently been Jody's bully since they were little kids. And she just bullies her because she's tall. And I mean, after years of being at the same school with the same people, you would think they would get used to you being tall. But apparently they don't. So she walks up to Stig, and she's all like, oh, you're so handsome. Hey, let me give you a tour of the school. Apparently she speaks all these languages from going on vacation. She speaks Spanish and I don't know what language. So yeah, her character is very flat, very annoying. So then Jody decides she wants to get a makeover. And because she wants to attract Stig. So she goes to her older sister, the pageant queen, who is so excited to give her a makeover, obviously. And they go to a store with the mom so that she can start shopping for new clothes and everything. So then at the end of this, she chooses an outfit, which is very like, say yes to the dress style. They just show her face and she's smiling like, this is the one. So we know at some point in the movie we're going to see the outfit, but we don't actually see it then. It's supposed to be saved for the end. And believe me, it was a surprise. The movie goes on, blah, blah. Stig is still dating the hot girl. But one time there's like, perfect plot convenience. They meet up in the music room, and she happens to play the piano and he sucks at it. So she starts teaching him how to play a little bit, just that one time. And then it turns into like a musical. They're looking into each other's eyes and singing a song, which, by the way, Jody has a beautiful voice. Like, if they did this as a musical, like, not Tall Girl, but just did something to do with like music and she was in it, that would go really well. They end up sort of going on a date, like a movie date. They kiss, and now she feels bad because she knows he has a girlfriend. And then there's another annoying thing about Stig. Apparently, everybody in Sweden just happens to be as hot as him and as tall as him. And he's just like a regular guy. And I'm just like, come on. it doesn't matter what country, even if you go, like, people are like, oh, women in Brazil are so beautiful, I'm sure, and Colombian women, if you go there, I'm sure there are lots of very beautiful women, but you don't walk into the class and everybody looks like Sofia Vergara, like, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm insecure because there's a guy named, I can't even remember the guy's name. And then Dunkelman finally starts dating one of the pretty girl's friends, and she is another very beautiful girl, and she actually really likes him, and they go on like a couple dates, they're kind of dating, and then they sort of try and plan going to their prom together, and this is another stupid part. He turns her down for Jodie, knowing that Jodie is still interested in Stieg. This was just another very unrealistic part. Like, no one would do that. He would probably go with this pretty girl to the prom to make Jodie jealous and see what she's missing, or just be like, let me at least do this and see what's going to happen. But no, he turns this girl down for Jodie, even knowing that it's been years and she still doesn't want to date him. But, you know, movies. This is like the whole movie has gone by, and all we see are like really ditzy moments between Jodie's sister talking about her pageant and not eating. And now they have this cute sister moment, which didn't even feel cute or anything. It was just like too late in the movie, and it's like, now you want us to feel like they're having an emotional moment, which was just very awkward again. And then anyway, Stieg says he's going to break up with his girlfriend for Jodie. They agree that they're going together to Jodie's sister's pageant. And, you know, of course, it's the classic pageant where everybody in the movie is bad except Jodie's sister, so she just has to win. And yeah, so after that, they were supposed to go to a party at Dunkelman's house because he's like cool now. And he stands her up because all of a sudden he cares about being famous, which is something that doesn't make sense in the movie because Stieg's character is all over the place. Like, does he want to be popular or does he want to be nice? Like, he seems like a genuinely nice guy, and then they just put these weird out of character moments for him. So yeah, he stands her up and she's so sad, and she finds out that Dunkelman stood up for her at the party and he got punched by Stieg because he was like, Jodie is the coolest girl ever. It was like a second grade argument. Like, oh my god, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Jodie is so cool. She is cooler than all of you. They get into a fight. Jodie finds out and she's like, oh, he defended my honor. So then, you know, Jodie starts to feel better about herself. She looks at herself in the mirror and gives herself that, you know, I'm beautiful, I'm confident look. And so she decides to go to the prom. And at the clip at the prom, you know, the prom scene was actually a little bit more impressive than I thought, judging by the rest of the movie. It was kind of low budget-ish. But anyway, by this time, of course, you know who wins prom king and queen. The mean girl, Kimmy, and Stieg win prom king and queen. And Stieg is like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, blah, blah. He takes off his crown while they're in the crowd. And Jodie walks through in her high heels and the dumbest, ugliest outfit I have ever seen. I swear, this reminded me of the Dumb and Dumber costumes when they went to that event. That's what the outfit looked like. It was so ugly. Like, anyway, she walks up to the stage in her heels while everybody's looking at her, and gives this whole speech about, I am beautiful, I am so pretty as tall as I am. And that's not exactly what she said. If this was realistic in a high school, no one, especially in that outfit, they would have started laughing as soon as she got on stage. And they look in awe and they like clap for her, and then she walks out. And I'm just like, this was so unrealistic and stupid. Like, if something had happened to her or they bullied her and she was like, she stopped going to school until the prom and she came back feeling better about herself, then maybe they would have let her speak. But in that regular situation, that would have never happened. So anyway, Dunkelman didn't go to the prom. He's at home because his mom grounded him for fighting after he defended Jodie. So Jodie leaves the prom right after her speech, goes to Dunkelman's house, and she's like, oh, I'm just rethinking my boyfriend checklist. So many eye roll cringe moments. So anyway, then we finally discover the stupid reason why Dunkelman carries this cart. And then, yeah, he does the thing you really wouldn't want him to do. He picks the cart up and stands on it because the reason why he's been carrying it all this time is so that he could be tall enough to kiss Jodie, which is also kind of creepy. So he stands on it and they kiss. And yeah, basically, the guy she was looking for was in front of her the whole time. My final comments on the movie. First of all, Jodie is mean. She never apologizes for everything, for anything. They try to be, as much as we appreciate inclusivity, this was just done in an extremely unrealistic way. The entire cheer squad is black and all the same shade. We don't see a basketball team, but there's a cheer squad. Dunkelman's mom is also black, who we see only once. I love the actress Christina Moses, but we literally see her for a second. And then there's the best friend who's just there for nothing. If they wanted to be more inclusive, they could have made more black people to be actual main characters. There's just the one guy who liked Jodie at some point, who's just like another, you don't even remember that he's in the movie. There's really kind of no way to make this movie be amazing. But what they could have done to make this movie good is they could have made everything really funny. And I think that they tried to be funny, but they tried to be too serious and funny at the same time. And that just didn't work. And when they say when you try to reach everybody, you reach no one? This is what this movie was. It is a waste of time. If I gave you spoilers, sorry, but as soon as you see the trailer, you can basically guess what's going to happen in the whole movie. If you were thinking of watching it and hoping it would be a great movie, hopefully I just saved you some time. And I would like to know if you guys enjoyed this video, if you like more of these videos, if you'd like me to review like a series, like a bunch of episodes together, like Riverdale or Tell Me a Story, Sabrina, any other movies, either really good movies or really bad movies. I would love to know, and I would definitely do more videos on those. So yeah. So I would love to know you guys' thoughts on this movie. Have you watched it? I would like to know if you liked it. Did you think it was a good movie? Just because I think it's a bad movie doesn't mean you have to think it's a bad movie too. What other movies would you like me to do? Or series? I definitely want to do series, so I'd love to know what series you'd like me to talk about as well. If you have any ideas for what we can name this series, if you'd like me to do more of these, please let me know, because I would definitely love to. I really love movies and TV shows and all that kind of stuff. You can always ask me and just recommend, even on my social media, which is at Angie B with 3 underscores on Instagram and Twitter. I would love to talk to you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you didn't subscribe and you want to subscribe now, just hit my face right there on the screen. And if you'd like to see any of my other videos, just watch the 2 on the side of the screen here, because you might enjoy those as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!